Alright, so today we're going to have a look back at the 3 resurrectable characters that recently just released this week. Speaking of, earlier this week we did showcase the Quincy Ichigo. Recommend you guys check it out. And in today's video we're here to focus on the 3 other characters that resurrected alongside him, the New Year's banner. Which I was going to say the only New Year's banner, but with the most recent mid-month banner, our first banner 2023, we finally got more New Year's characters. The whole thing regarding this banner is very weird, and we'll talk about it when we start showcasing the characters. So let's actually start doing that. Alright, so the first character we can have a look at is New Year's RUKIA. Now this character, I'm not gonna lie, I really do like the design choice. And I know it's kind of a meme now, we have 3 New Year's RUKIAs, but it's kind of cool how all of them offer a different type of vibe. But in this case, if we have a look at her strong attack, so first is gonna be a lunge forwards. Her SA2 is a very weird strong attack that a few characters had upon release. Not really sure why they did it, but essentially it's a vortex that's like super short. It's not like a tracking vortex. It doesn't stay with her for long. It does move with her, but it's so short. And it was such a weird time, this particular SA2. Like, I guess it's decent, and it does look nice to be fair, but it's such a weird one. That said, though, I do like her nat string. I think it's actually quite good. Visually, too, it looks nice. Same with that SA1. I feel like the SA1's actually quite good for a lunge, released to her time. And then her SA3 is just a standard full screen. Now, I'll kind of probably mention it when I talk about the other characters too. This whole banner, when it came out, was such a weird time. So essentially, every time we get an end of year banner, we get one banner, right? It's the end of year banner. But in this case, when these characters released, they actually dropped 2 banners at the same time, which is why they did resurrect at the same time too. And of course, we are talking about Quincy Ichigo. Quincy Ichigo was the end of year banner, and it was the step up format that we're used to when it comes to end of year banners. But then alongside that, at the same time, this Rukia, Mayuri, and also Hanataro, they also released in a separate banner with a 3% pull rate. So like, it was just super rare for the most part to have these characters, because everyone, even though Quincy Ichigo was kind of mediocre, everyone was just trying to pull for that character and on that banner. So rarely anyone had these characters for at least a while. I know, see, years later, they've been quite available for the most part. And probably a lot of you lads that are watching this probably have this character, because, again, she's been in quite a few banners. But with that said, upon resurrecting, she picked up 1 new skill, because again, she is not a 1000-year Blood War character, so that means she's not given the special treatment that 1000-year Blood War characters do get, getting 8 skills instead of 7, and that 1 extra skill really does make a difference. And in this case, the skill that she did pick up was 20% Berserker, so she hits 20% harder on her strong attacks. Nothing super crazy, and it is basically the bare standard when it comes to resurrections. But to go alongside that, she also did pick up 60% extra full stamina damage, and that is for her second soul trait, so now she's a 25% stun recovery soul trait, and also 16% full stamina. It's a pretty interesting combo. I don't mind it too much, but I don't think I'm ever gonna really use it. But maybe I will. I don't know. So maybe sometimes I want to give a character stun recovery, and maybe, you know, the extra 16% full stun would be nice. I didn't mention already, but I really do like this character Soul Bomb. It's cute. It looks elegant. This Rukia, that pose right there too. It's a fun solo. I like it. And that 60% full stun, I guess, kind of helped us clear that room a tad bit faster. But also a little fun fact about this particular Rukia, because I believe it was based off maybe an ending to a certain anime episode. I can't really remember entirely, but this design was actually in game for quite a while. They used it to advertise the new year prior to this character coming out like a year before. And then if you also go into the game too, there's I believe a 2018, maybe 17 accessory with this Rukia's artwork. So they kind of had this character for a while. And I guess because they didn't want to release one character with an end of year banner, that being Quincy Ichigo, they probably quickly scrapped together a New Year's banner, and that's why we got this particular Rukia. But in terms of resurrecting, she got more damage on her strong attacks and also Soul Bomb. Nothing super crazy, unfortunately, and this resurrection isn't really giving you much of a reason to use her. But she is a Chronicle Quest bonus, so having a 6-star copy and a resurrected copy, you get double the bonus there. And for the next character, we're looking at Hanataro. Now, this character, I'm not gonna lie, Hanataro is not a character I think is that cool, but this drift that he has, it's kind of drippy. Man's got like the man bun and everything, bro. This character is dripped out. He's also got like a Hisago Maru pin on his thing. It's a really cool and fun design. I do like it. Now, I guess the special thing about this particular character is that he was actually the first Hanataro 5-star in the game. And for the longest of time, the only playable Hanataro. I mean, we only recently just got our first premium Hanataro sometime late last year. So for those Hanataro fans, this is basically all you had. And of course, because it is Hanataro, he just has like the goofiness, the SA1 just being the lunge of him falling over. It's so dumb. And I don't even know what he's got for his attack. What is bro using? Now, other than that, this character, when he came out, wasn't anything super special. I think the only, like, really important thing about him was, again, he was eventually a Chronicle Quest bonus. But I guess he was also a 16% DR soul trait. That's not that special nowadays, but, you know, you didn't have access to a lot of those soul traits back in the day. So if you were trying to use someone like, you know, Weekend, for example, in Brave Battles, having this character as a Link wasn't that bad of an idea. Now, unfortunately, we did take a bit of damage, but it doesn't matter because this character actually, funny enough, has multiple ways to heal himself. In this case, it's SA2 and also every time you go to another map. Having said that, though, having a look at his soul bomb. It's a fun soul bomb. I like it. We had a surprise guest appearance of Bunny. It was fun. I'm not sure why Bunny was there, but it's fun. And we also got like a Bunny reference in the home screen that was also introduced with these characters. You can see Bunny running in the background. But with that said, again, when it comes to his resurrection, very similar treatment when it comes to Rukia. In fact, they got the exact same upgrades. Well, actually, a tad bit different. So instead of this character picking up 20% Berserker, which is what is usual for these type of characters, right? He instead got 20% full stamina damage, which I guess is actually a tad bit better here in this case because it allows him to do a tad bit more damage on his soul bomb, strong attacks, and also nurturing, which you are seeing that we are using quite a few times. And it also does help that his SA2 does actually have a heal move, so it allows him to somewhat have an easy time staying at full stamina. To go alongside that too, when you move to another map, as you can see there, we do get an extra 16% stamina recovery because that is what he did pick up on his soul trait. His original soul trait being 16% DR is now 60% DR and also 16% stamina recovery every time you return a map. And it makes sense. Again, this character wants to stay at full stamina, so him having two ways to heal is nice. And it also works well with the soul trait too. 16% DR and also stamina recovery is a pretty rare combo, I believe. And if you're ever trying to auto some hard content, for example, being able to take less damage while also getting more heals every time you return a map is nice. I like it. It makes sense. Unfortunately though, just like Rukia, this character is still lacking a bit on the recharge. Not that big a deal anyway. It wouldn't have made him anything super crazy, but it's just worth mentioning. And Yachiru goes down. And that's basically Naturo. It's a fun character. First and only time he ever got a seasonal character. I'm not sure if I'd want to see more seasonal Hanataros. Let me know if you lads would actually like to see that. I guess I wouldn't be opposed to it. And again, for the longest of time, this was the only playable Hanataro in the entire game. Until recently where he got his redemption with the new healer version. And then the last character to look at is the New Year's Mayuri, which honestly, until recently, I didn't appreciate how good this character's design is. Like, look at this. For starters, Mayuri is as extravagant as always. I do like how, obviously, Mayuri likes to wear a lot of, like, type of helmets or hats. And in this case, they turned it into a tangerine and orange. I'm not sure exactly what that is supposed to be. And then to go alongside that, bro is literally riding Ashishogi Jizo. Like, look at this design. It's so cool. And it made me realize, why have we not received more of this? Mayuri is such a cool character. I'm surprised that he hasn't received that many seasonal characters because there's so much you could do with this particular character. But having a look at his nurturing though, he is a ranged character. As you can see here, basically Ashishogi Jizo just like spits balls out. It's again a very weird design, but it's fun. His SA1 is one of the worst strong attacks in the entire game. Unfortunately, they released him alongside Queen to Ichigo and they both got the exact same SA, which is the three-way split strong attack. It's not that good unless you're really close, and the majority of the time, it's not that practical. And in Quinta Ichigo's case, not to downplay him again, but he got it as an SA2, so that was even worse. As an SA1, it's still bad, but at least it's bearable. As an SA2, yeah, it's basically terrible. Speaking of SA2 though, Mari's SA2 is just a boost around him, and then its SA3 is just going to be a full screen. Now for the fun facts about this Mari, at least when he first came out, he was the first character in the game to have Human Killer. So that right there basically gave you a reason to use him, because I believe additionally, like almost at the same time this character came out, we also had the 25 stage Senkamotai, which was still somewhat new at the time, and there was a stage specifically designed for Mayuri, where if you have Human Killer, you get a 20 times killer effect. So, and that was the only bonus that stage had. So realistically, that stage, while it wasn't super difficult, you could just cheese with a burn or poison character, even just bring in a good tech character at the time, should have been able to do the job. But for a lot of people, that was a reason enough to actually summon for Mayuri, because he was the only character really wanting to be used on that particular stage. Have a look at Mayuri's Soul Bomb though.
Yeah. Watashi da yo, Shokun. Akemashite omedetou.
Again, man, super fun and unique Soul Bomb. And there's also kind of callbacks to the New Year's characters where we had like the similar setting where he was on that stage. We also saw then Ichigo Soul Bomb. So I kind of like the lore they have going on with these characters, like they're actually taking place at the same time. They're connected to each other. It's not just random stuff being thrown at us. But when it comes to this character's resurrection, just like the other two characters, got a 20% increase on his strong attack damage. And that's unfortunately all he picks up. Havoc here would have been a tad bit nice just for him to be a tad bit better, especially with that SA1 because the range is tad bit lackluster. As you can see there, we were only able to kill one wave with that. And then to go alongside that, when it comes to his soul trait, which originally was a 12% strong attack recharge soul trait, he now picked up 55% poison duration, which in my opinion is actually kind of good. There are going to be times where I'm going to use someone in IT, for example, or some type of hard content where there are poison pools, and if I want to be immune to poison, then I'm going to be happy to have this particular link. The best example I can think of, I guess, is using Uryu in Inheritance Trials, which you do quite often, right? Now, when I'm fun with Uryu, I ideally want to have other Uryus with me all playing so we can clear fast and also get the most amount of drops possible. And there are going to be times where, you know, there's going to be poison pools, and I want to be immune to poison, so I can use this Mayuri link, get the extra recharge and also extra stats, and also at the same time be immune to poison, right? So Mayuri's Resurrection, again, basically the bare minimum, kind of like this entire banner. But when it comes to his soul trait, it's a pretty niche soul trait, but something that needed to be fulfilled in my opinion. Look at that smirk. Damn, okay, Mayuri, bro. Sinister. But other than that, keep in mind he also is the first of its kind. There isn't a single technique character with recharge and also poison duration. So even if you might never need to use it, if there ever comes a time, maybe sometime in the future, I guess you'll be happy to have this link. I'd rather have more links like this than strong attack damage and recharge because I have a lot of those already. But with that said, and there was Bonnie in the back, hope you liked and enjoyed this video. Just a quick look back at these characters when they first released, because again, I wasn't making BBS videos when these characters came out. So actually I kind of was, to be fair, I was, but not as much as I was now, right? So I do like to talk about these characters again and how they were back when they released. And in this case, they were pretty instant characters, I guess. But with that said, hope you liked and enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.